represents man's divine nature. The whole situation can be likened to a video game. When playing a video game, two copies of oneself are brought into existence. The first copy is the true you, your true self, the one sitting in a chair with controller in hand. The second copy, your lower self, often called your lower will or ego, is the one inside the video game, jumping, shooting, and ducking inside the 3D computer-generated world. The video game version of yourself is nothing more than a perceiver for your true self, whose flesh cannot exist inside the electronic confines of a computer game. There is, however, another tree in the Kabbalistic garden, the Qliphoth. The Qliphoth, sometimes called the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil by modern occultists, is an underworld of demons. The Qliphoth is said to be identical to the Tree of Life, where it exists below Malkuth. This infernal tree is said to be ruled by the fallen angel Samael, who is the Kabbalistic equivalent to Satan from the Bible. It is the Tree of Life, along with its counterpart, the Qliphoth, that is the origin of the concept of 7 hells and 7 heavens.
Below the tree, proceeding from Malkuth, is the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil, which is between the Tree of Life and the world, or Asaya, or shells, represented by the coiled-up dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, being the 7 infernal palaces and the 10 Averse Sephiroth.
Occultists claim that just as man has a divine copy of himself, called the guardian angel, who exists in the higher realms of the Tree of Life, he also has an infernal copy of himself, called the guardian demon. Expectedly, this so-called guardian demon takes residence in the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil. Both guardian angels and guardian demons are called tutelary spirits, which are spirits assigned to a human at birth. Muslims, similar to occultists, also believe that each human is assigned an angel and a demon at birth. A large part of occult practice involves contacting or uniting with one's tutelary spirit. The most common operation is often called knowledge and conversation with the holy guardian angel. Coming into contact with one's guardian angel is not only one of the occult's highest achievements, but a necessary step in gaining mastery over magic itself. After a series of rituals designed to help the spirit slowly climb the Tree of Life, you will finally come into contact with the true you that exists in the heavenly realms. After achieving unity with one's tutelary spirit, the magician not only experiences ever-increasing psychic and intellectual ability, but most importantly, true illumination. Yoga, which literally means unity, is based on similar principles of connecting to one's ultimate divine form. This process of using magic to increase one's psychic and intellectual powers is called psychic development and has long been known as alchemy. Initiation is another term often used to describe spiritual development. In movies like The Last Airbender, the Christ child is learning to master new powers as he gains mastery over the 4 magical elements: air, water, earth, and fire. The movie also contains the 4 nations of elementals acknowledged by all occultists. According to the official story, alchemy is the controlled transmutation of one metal to another. The very utterance of the word alchemy invokes in the commoner mental imagery of a medieval eccentric foolishly attempting to turn lead into gold. Magicians, both modern and ancient, have nurtured and enjoyed this misconception. As usual, these magicians cleverly conceal the truth of their work in symbols, while the profane tried in vain on account of taking the symbolic literal. The metals of alchemy have absolutely no relation to the physical manifestation of the metal. The minerals of alchemy have absolutely no relation to the physical mineral whose name it bared. The answer, in part, is to be found in the hexagram and the tree of life. The hexagram, falsely called the Star of David, is only connected to the Jewish people because of the Kabbalah. The hexagram is actually a symbol for the 7 of the 9 Sephiroth above the material plane. It is essentially a symbol of the 7 magical planets: the Moon, Mercury, Venus, the Sun, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Each of these 7 planets are associated with and correspond to a particular metal. Further, each of those 7 of 9 Sephiroth above Malkuth also correspond to a particular metal. With this in mind, the hexagram and all of its correspondences can be nearly superimposed on the Tree of Life, with only the sphere of Binah, which represents Saturn, ruining the perfect superimposition. Similar to how the fruit from the Tree of Life can increase one's power, so too can fruit from the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil, because it is the realm of demons, including your own demon. If you recall, Adam and Eve, after eating from the Tree of Knowledge, knew they were naked and made aprons for themselves with fig leaves. Could this be the reason why Masons wear aprons? Is the apron a symbolic reference to the fig leaves of Eden? Do they use the apron to express in a coded manner that they themselves have eaten the forbidden fruit and gained its powers? The Tree of Life is further divided into 3 pillars. The left pillar is the feminine pillar, represented by the moon or salt. The middle pillar is androgynous and is represented by both the planet and metal Mercury. And the right pillar is masculine, represented by the sun and the mineral sulfur. This symbolism is plainly apparent in almost every depiction of an alchemist or alchemical magic, because somewhere in the picture will be both the sun and the moon, the very essence of uniting opposites.
The ancient alchemists were prone to veil their writings in obscure symbolisms, mythology, and various blinds. In this case, the principle of sulfur is not common sulfur or brimstone. Salt did not indicate common table salt, nor did mercury reflect the matter found in thermometers, quicksilver. There was an analog between these, but definitely not a one-to-one relationship. This blind hindered many a budding alchemist